Good morning. This is Margaret at the University of Sewing, and it's Facebook Live. On Saturdays, we talk a lot about new things that have come in, or we talk about existing products that we have in the shop. And today we're going to talk about knits. And part of the reason for that is that this month, April, is Overlocker / Serger month. And it is a perfect time to talk about knits and what you can do with them and how fun you can have with them. And so what I wanted to do today was show you some of the different kinds of knits we have in the shop, what you might use them for, and what we can do here. And you know, after all of this, I didn't really grab a bunch of patterns that we can use. But on our website at universityofsewing.com, there is a myriad of knit patterns. And one of the people who's really done a great job with knit patterns is Pamela Leggett, and we carry her patterns. So you might look at those patterns after we talk about some of this stuff, because her patterns tend to be pretty straightforward. I love her instructions. She is one of the best independent pattern companies out on the market, who tends to do really, really good patterns. So today, as always, and if you're a new viewer, you may not know this, but we always give something away to our viewers that share with their friends. Meaning that if you go on Facebook, you can see while you're watching this that there's a share button. And if you will hit that share button and in the comments you let us know you shared, you have the opportunity to be put in a pool to win our prize for the day.
You mean like Kathy Neal?
Like always, Kathy Neal. Hello, Kathy. I hope you are having a wonderful morning. So we have this really cute pattern. It's a kid's pattern. And the reason I decided to give this away is for those of you who are maybe thinking of venturing into clothes or into knits. Doing kids' clothes is a great way to get started, because kids, for the most part, we don't have to make a bunch of pattern adjustments. They're straight up and down, which is just super. And this is a really great way to experiment with knits that you're not going to get into a ton of money. You can practice some really fun techniques. There's a little bit of gathering, a ruffle, very simple stuff. And the nice thing is this has from a doll pattern up to a large, and the large is referring to, it looks like a kid size 10. So this would be a really cute little project that you wouldn't have to put a lot of effort and a lot of money into, and you could try it. So I thought it would be really fun to give this away today. So if you go ahead and let us know you shared in the comments, we will be giving this away, and who knows, maybe you'll win. So I'm going to set this aside here. We'll just put it right over there for the moment. And look at what I've got. I've got a bunch of knits over here. But first, I want to tell, I think it might have been Jane, who wanted some Modern Love fat quarter bundles. And we have fat quarter bundles of Modern Love. So if you really like that, last week we started off in front of the Modern Love collection. It's a Northcott product, which means, unfortunately, that they print exactly what's ordered, and once it's gone, it's gone. And this stuff has been flying out of our store. So if you really like Modern Love and you haven't purchased any right now, we've got 2 fat quarter bundles. Make sure you get those ordered soon so that you are not going to have, you're not going to be regretful that you didn't get it. We also have a really cool pattern that goes with it. So go ahead online and look up the pattern for Modern Love, and you will see it's really pretty. It has this wonderful panel that you can get. Now the panel's not in the fat quarter bundle. So you need to order the panel separate if you're going to do the pattern. So just make sure. I'm going to look and see today later if we can actually even put one kit together. I think we might be low enough now we can't even do that. So if you like Modern Love, get out there and order that soon so you don't miss out. Okay, so what is around me? Well, all these different fabrics right here, and what's directly behind me, these groups of fabrics, these are all the knits we carry in the shop. And we actually have a nice selection of them. One of the things that's really tough sometimes is to have you know, you just never sure what to order. But right now, it's not a matter of what to order. It's that, frankly, getting it. I think we have a beautiful selection. We've got our color ranges from, we have a little bit of red. That's been really hard to find. But then we have a lot of pinks, some blues, some grays, some blacks, and one yellow. We have a gold, but we don't have much in the way of yellow. And so we have even a couple of oranges and rusts. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to tell you about these different knits and what you can expect from them. And hopefully, those of you who maybe have sewn a little bit with knits, this will help you make a better purchase. When you get them, you know exactly what you're buying. But let me give you some ideas of some tools you'll need to sew with knits. First off, what you're going to need is some stretch needles. And if you own a Bernina serger, you know that most of the Bernina sergers, you can put regular sewing needles in it. And this would be a good choice for sewing your knits, would be your stretch needles. Now, you might ask me, why don't you have jersey needles over here, Margaret? Well, the reason I don't have jersey needles is because a lot of the knit fabrics that are out on the market right now have Lycra and spandex in them. And if you buy a knit that has Lycra or spandex in it, even if it's a small quantity, sometimes the jersey needles will skip because they were really designed with cotton jersey in mind. And we do have a cotton jersey here in this whole stack of fabric I'm going to show you. But the majority of the fabrics I tend to get them with Lycra or spandex in it because they recover prettier. And when they stretch out, they stretch back to their original shape. So my thought process here was, I'm going to carry the stuff that I like to use and that I have really good success for. And so that's why we carry the stretch needles. All right. And they come in, oh, I forgot to show you. They come in 11s, which is a smaller needle. And then they come in a 14. If you're using a Ponte knit or a heavier weight knit, you want to use the 14s. But the other one we have are the double needles. And the double needle setup for stretch is really nice if you're trying to create a cover stitch and you don't own a cover stitch machine. But you really know you do want to own a cover stitch machine. Get the Bernina L890 because it's going to make sewing knits so much better. It will just take all the stress and fuss out of sewing knits. So if you haven't gone to your dealer and went in to see the L890, you're missing out. And right now they're doing some great things with those. So you may want to go into your Bernina dealer and find out what the fuss is about the L890s. I wanted to show you, we also carry Overlocker thread. Overlocker is a Madeira product. It is a super high quality serger thread, and we carry this now, and we have a wonderful selection of it on our website, and I think you're going to be really happy with it. These are 2,000 yard spools, and they are available. We also carry another product. Now, if you are sewing your knits on your sewing machine, what you might want to try in your bobbin, just in your bobbin, is a product called Woolly Nylon. And Woolly Nylon, if you buy the YLI version of Woolly Nylon, it actually stretches. A lot of the Woolly Nylon products out on the market do not stretch. I have tried buying now about 4 different kinds of, quote, stretchable woolly nylon, and the only one that actually stretches is the YLI. I have been very unhappy with some of the other products out in the market because they advertise right on them that they have that they stretch, and I've taken them out of the package, I pulled on them, they don't stretch. This does. So we carry YLI in a myriad of colors, and it is perfect to use in your bobbin because if you don't have a serger and you're trying to sew knits, one of the things we worry about is all those stitches popping. Well, if you use the YLI woolly nylon in there, you lengthen your stitch length a little bit, and maybe even make it a slight zigzag so it looks kind of weird and wonky. It won't look weird and wonky on the outside of the fabric if it's a seam. It will actually stretch some, and you'll not have as much problems with your stitches snapping when you stretch that seam. All right, so let's talk about some fabrics today. So right in front of me, I have a Telio polyester fabric, and this is really a beautiful print. I'm going to show it to you. It's really fun. Polyester knits are very different these days than they used to be. They don't pill as much. They really look nice. There's a beautiful drape to them. And this print is really quite fun. We've got this lovely animal print with tropical flowers. It's got an off-white background, and it is going to be perfect for somebody. Now, see, I can even wear this one. So this is going to be really nice. Now, what is the story with the polyester knits? Well, the ones we have in the shop tend to be thinner. So these are a little bit more body conscious. So you might want to use a pattern that is a bit more, maybe not so snug against you, if you don't want the various pieces and parts of your body to show off too much. Because see, this is going to hang close to the body. And look at the drape though. It's very, very beautiful. So when you are looking, what I'm trying to do now on our pictures on the website, and I've got a lot of pictures to take yet, is I'm trying to put them on a dress form so you can see how the fabric drapes. And you can see the patterning on this. It's really quite pretty, and it's got a wonderful drape. And this is wonderful for one of those dresses that, like a wrap dress. It would make a pretty wrap top. It would make a pretty, anything with ruching on it.
Someone asked the question, would it be good for long skirts?
It would be so cute as a long skirt. Yes, that's a wonderful idea. And because the way of it draping, if you wanted to make it a little bit gathered, it's going to look really pretty because it's not going to be, some fabrics are heavy and they make it look really lumpy at the waist. Because this is a thinner fabric, it's not going to do that. So you can have some gathering at the waist, or you could do it like a circle skirt. Either one would be really beautiful. And it is 60 inches wide and very, very nice. Okay, so let's talk about some other fabrics we've got here. And that's not the only Telio knit we have. I'm not going to show you every single Telio knit, and I'm not going to show you every Andover knit we've got. What I'm going to do is show you a representation, and then you get to look through the website and find the colors you like. You get to look through the website and find the print you like. So, but I want you to know what the fabrics are so that when you go and look at them, most of the time what we do is we look at an online site and we go, well, I need to touch the fabric. Well, maybe you do, but maybe you don't. And I'm really happy to send you a sample. If you find something here you like, and you're like, Margaret, I really like the idea of that Telio knit. What Telio knits do you have? And can I have a sample of this one so that I can see if I like it or not? And that the colors are the problem online, in my opinion. It's not so much the fabric type. The fabric type, if I do a good job explaining to you what they are, then you're going to be able to go educated out there and buy what you want. For example, most of you don't have any problem ordering quilting fabric online. You know the brands, you know the type of fabric you're going to get, and so you're comfortable with that. Well, what I'm going to try to do today is give you a little representation of what we've got. And if it's like usual, I won't have enough time, but I'll do as good of a job as I can and show you some of this stuff. For example, this is a really cool fabric and one I only got to know a few years ago. And this fabric is a French terry. Now, French terry is a really interesting fabric. On one side, it's got a smooth finish. And Dave, if you can kind of get close to it so they can see, it's a smooth finish. This one has a little bit of a tie-dye look to it, which I think is really fun. But when you look at the back side, look at this. This is the French terry. This is how you can tell it's actually French terry. It has this kind of honeycomb look on the back. Now, what does that mean? Well, what that means is because of that little honeycomb back and kind of texturing to it, it means it's not going to hang really close to my body. It's going to tend to pull away a little bit. But this is a pretty thin French terry, and it's really flattering fabric. We're going to go back over to the dress form, and I'm going to show you how it drapes. This is heavier. So this is going to make a really cute like sweatshirt top. It's going to make a really cute little lightweight jacket, cardigan style. Any of those kind of things is going to be really cute out of, but you can also do a pair of pants out of this. It might be a little, I'm not sure I would do a pair of pants out of this because I kind of feel like it's a little bit, still a little bit too lightweight for that, but you certainly could. So look at how that drapes and how beautiful that is. It's a really fun fabric and it's super easy to work with. It doesn't tend to curl up like the Telio knit is really kind of thin. So it's going to curl up when you cut it. This won't curl up as much. It will curl. But one of the things a lot of designers do with this French terry is they don't even finish the edges. They'll just do a set of stitching across the bottom and leave it as a cut edge. So let's take a look at what the cut edge looks like. Look how it's just a nice, good cut on it. And it's not going to ravel. So what they'll do is they'll do a couple sets of stitching right here, and then they leave it and they don't bother to finish it. Now, I'm kind of an old school girl, and I'd probably finish it. But I also have the advantage of having a cover stitch machine. And, you know, if you didn't know it, we actually do classes on knits here at the shop. And if you were local, I wanted to let you know in May, and I can't tell you exactly which Friday in May, but if you look at our calendar on our website, see, this is my way to get you to look at the website. So you go and look at the website, and in May, there's a Friday, and we are doing an all-day class. These classes are very small. I do not make them very big because we spend a lot of time making sure things fit on you. So in that class, I have an introduction to sewing knits, and it's a t-shirt or a tunic. You get to pick. So it's a really great way for you to learn how to do your, learn how to do the beginning parts of working with knits. So these guys are being mean to me, Dave. I'm gonna have to lay them on the floor here so I stop tripping all over them. All right, so we've got those. Right here on top, you see this little funny looking little one here? Well, this little one is actually ribbing. And some of us still like to put some ribbing on the bottom of our jackets. We like to put ribbing on a collar. We can use this. This is a really nice ribbing. It's got a it's really weighty. It has a nice recovery, and you could use this to wrap around a neckline if you want. You can use it on your cuffs, and you could use it on the bottom edge of, do like a little baseball jacket. That would be super cute. So we have this only in 2 colors right now because, as I told you, getting things sometimes has been a little bit tough this year. I've been really shocked at how long I've had to wait for some things. We placed an order last August for some fabrics. I've been telling you we're expecting some batiks. I talked to the company we were getting those from, and we're still looking at probably now mid-May before I'll get those. And I'm not really sure what to say about that other than that's the way the world's working right now. So now over here, I'm gonna take us to some really cool knits. This one that's wrapped up, we have these already pre-wrapped into a nice little, well, that's not helping me. I wonder if we have one I can undo. Somebody decided it was a good idea to knot them. Okay, let's see if I can get this one off. Yes, I can. These are in pre-cut pieces because for the most part, 3 yards is the very most of this you would need. And this is a linen knit. Now, what are you going to do with a linen knit? A linen knit is going to be fabulous for a tank. It could make the cutest t-shirt. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So look at how beautiful that is. It's a bit sheer, so you're going to want to wear some sort of another layer to this. But you could make the prettiest top to go over top of a tank, and you could layer it. It could be a tank itself. This fabric just feels wonderful. It's gorgeous. It is unusual. It's hard to find linen knits. And we have wool knits like this, and we have linen knits like this. And they're already pre-cut and ready for you to go. Already cut into lengths you'll need. And as you can see, this is a really cool khaki taupe color. So that one, just absolutely stunning no matter what you make out of it. So we have it in gray, beige, and taupe. So not a huge bunch of choices. The gray I think might be wool. Now I have another really beautiful piece of wool knit, and this is really unusual. It's got a amazing color. The color's not, this is on purpose. It's not a solid color throughout. It kind of is a very subtle changes of color, going from kind of a, I don't know, this gray goes from really steel to a little bit more cement, but it's not huge what you're seeing. It's just a really subtle variation. So it gives the fabric a lot of depth, and it's really quite pretty. What did I forget to do?
No, you didn't. I have a question.
Yeah.
So we're talking about wool knits and linen knits.
Yes.
How do you care for those?
Hand wash.
Okay.
Hand wash, gentle. Hand wash, gentle.
Easy enough.
Because you don't, a lot of people think that all you do, with something like this is you're going to have to take it to the dry cleaners. Well, you can. You can. There's nothing wrong with taking it to the dry cleaners. But you can also take care of it at home.
I'd rather do that.
I'd rather take care of it at home because I know how I'm going to treat it.
They're so pretty. I just had to ask.
God, it's so this one is so beautiful. It has some substance to it. It's not skinny, thin
and
fabric.
It's that great color.
And it
does
is
have some
so
texture
beautiful.
And depth to that color.
It is, and we have a fuzzy. So it is just really beautiful. It's got, this is almost like a Ponte weight.
Oh.
So you could wear this as a skirt, a pant, a jacket, a top, but it's not going to drape like a thinner knit.
Sure, it's got some structure to it.
It does.
I'll hold this. You drape.
Okay, so we're going to, I think we need, that we needed more. Nope, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So the difference with this is, see, it's big. It has big kind of folds in it. It doesn't have, when we put that Telio knit in, it had lots and lots and lots of folds in it, okay? This is much more structured. It is, again, it's a heavier weight knit. I would be totally comfortable making a pair of pants out of this.
Absolutely. That would be so comfy.
They would be really comfortable.
Goodness.
And it's such a gorgeous fabric, and it's not itchy feeling.
No, not at all.
You know, sometimes wools feel a little bit itchy. This one doesn't at all. You could make the most beautiful jacket out of this.
Oh.
It would be so pretty.
It is
and
gorgeous.
it is just a really gorgeous fabric. So
pretty.
I mean, this is so hard to find.
I had never heard of wool knit before. That's a whole new thing to me.
Well, we have, I feel like we might have one or two other ones, but it's so hard to find, and it's so hard to find where it's not extremely expensive.
Gotcha.
And I got a great deal on this, but there's not much here. Part of the reason that I get some of these really good deals is because I'm willing to buy smaller quantities.
Sure.
And they are willing to get it out of their warehouses. So that is something that's really, you know, it works really well for us.
I think the customers appreciate that a lot, Margaret.
Well, I really enjoyed doing this. So, okay, so we're going to go to another really nice kind of knit we have, but again, we're going back to a thinner knit.
Gotcha.
So this one, skirt, dresses, really kind of loose top. It feels wonderful.
It's got a silky sort of feel
It does have
to
a
it.
silky sort of feel to it. And it is a polyester lycra.
Wow.
And again, the polyesters today are really different than what they used to be. Now, it is not transparent in any way, shape, or form, but it is thin. So some of you may feel much more comfortable putting a lining in this.
Sure.
Or just use a lot more of it.
Oh my goodness.
But look at the way it drapes. Now, see, remember what we just had up here was that wool for a pant.
Sure.
That was heavier, and it had big, thick folds.
It sure did.
So this one has these beautiful little drapey folds. And this is a really interesting fabric because it's almost printed like a border print.
It reminds me very much of a border print.
So it's got this kind of big gap, and then there's more, and then it's got the gap again.
Wow.
So you could do some super creative stuff with this.
And the colors are
think,
so pretty.
Think about a jacket where you could have, I mean, wouldn't that
as
one
soon
of
as
those
you put
cascade,
it on there, I thought jacket.
so one of those
Yeah.
cascade jackets, but you've got to know that this is really thin.
Right.
So it's not going to be a warm jacket
No.
necessarily.
No, no.
It's going to be just really cool and cute.
Gorgeous jacket.
So it's just going to be really cool and cute.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this one. This is, okay, where are we at in time? Okay, I've got very little time left, so we're not going to probably cover everything. So this blue is an Andover 100% cotton knit. Next to, we're going to shove that little and over, or that one, other one over. And then we've got right here a soft knit. Now, I want you to hold it with two hands.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to hold this one with two hands.
Okay.
And stretch.
Ooh.
See the difference?
Yeah, there is a big difference.
There's a big difference. This stretches and it kind of almost stretches out of shape.
Wow.
But if you want 100% cotton, this is your fabric.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But this one has the lycra in it. This is a soft knit. We have a lot of soft knits.
We do have a lot because
Okay.
they're really, really nice.
They're really nice, and I make a lot of tops out of this because it's actually really good for recovery, and it has a really, I mean, it makes the cutest tunic tops.
And there's something about the dyes that they use that it doesn't fade, I've noticed.
It does not fade.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful, and not pill.
Oh, right. Yes.
It doesn't pill. So the thing is with the cottons, they're beautiful and they feel great, but they just don't have the recovery. So when you're thinking about what you want to make with this, this would make a really warm and comfortable jacket,
Oh, it would.
sweatshirt,
Oh, yeah.
kind of one of those like little sweater shirts. That nothing that you're really wanting, you're going to want to be really careful because, like, if you wear this as a pair of pants, which is heavy enough to do that,
Sure.
but the problem is if you do a lot of kneeling and standing like I do in a day, is the knees going to kind of look like they've been,
Gotcha.
you know, so you do
Gotcha.
want that.
Gotcha.
So be careful when you use something that doesn't have any lycra or spandex because you may not be happy with the end result if you are going to be bothered by it stretching out of shape and not coming back until you launder it and put it back on again.
Well, and speaking of laundering, I know with garments that we pre-wash our fabrics, expecting more shrinkage with the 100% cotton.
You know what? I haven't really seen a ton of that with
Okay,
these.
all right.
None of the fabrics we've gotten here I've seen much in the way of shrinkage.
Wonderful.
But you know, if it's 100% cotton, I'm always going to pre-wash it.
Sure.
Okay, this one is a Robert Kaufman, and we've got to change the label on this because this is a it says French terry, and it's not French
It's not,
terry.
no.
It's a regular fleece.
It's got this beautiful brush side.
Yeah,
that's,
it's a fleece. So we got to change that tag. So anyway, this is a gorgeous fleece. And it feels so
It does,
soft.
it
Feels so
does.
soft. But this one does have some lycra in it, so it has great recovery. And this is going to make a great jacket, very nice and warm. The last one here in the group is a Ponte.
What does that mean?
Ponte means that it has a spongy feel to it.
Oh.
It means that the weave on it is like a double knit. It's like a double knit, okay? It's a very fine double knit, but it's a double knit. It has polyester and has, the ones we've got, they have polyester cotton and lycra in them. So they are good recovery, good color quality to them. They're gonna feel really nice on. They're great for jackets, pants, but they are not, you're not going to make a top out of this unless it's a very structured kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay.
So if it's one of those tops that you can kind of wear like a jacket,
Right.
that would work.
Okay.
But it is very stiff in comparison to any of the top knits, like the Stoff and that Andover could definitely be a top. But this, again, like that wool we showed, has almost, the drape is just,
It's pretty structured.
it's pretty structured.
There's something a little dressy feeling about
Yes, this has a little bit more of a dressy feel for a knit, as does that wool. So what is it that you want to do with this? Again, you want it somewhat tailored.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, I just showed you a bunch of different things here. And all I can tell you is that I've been doing this a really long time. So if you have a pattern and you have a top, let's talk about it if you're not sure. If you see a knit here, and Dave showed you all the beautiful knits that we've got kind of in a sweep.
We have a great selection.
If you want to have a sample, if you want to ask us questions, the biggest problem I see with ordering stuff online is that oftentimes you don't have anybody to ask the questions to.
That's true.
Well, that's not the case here.
That's very true too. We like questions. All questions.
You can email it or you can call us. And we are happy to answer your questions, and we're happy to send you samples. I want to remind you that we are giving away this wonderful little kids pattern. This is a little PJ pattern. It's so darling.
What size is that one?
It goes from dolls to 10.
Oh, I might
So
have to.
Miss Penny could wear this.
Yes. Yes.
So this is super cute. And we are giving this away for all of those of you who have been kind enough to share. We really do appreciate it. And so one of you is going to win.
Absolutely.
Just remember to hit the share button.
Please.
And then remember to follow us too. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, we'd love to have you follow us.
Sure.
And then the last thing is that we are here today from 10 until 5. And, you know, we love answering your questions. We don't have any problems with that. So if you wanted to give us a call, we're at 812-323-2665. It's all on the website, or I mean on the Facebook page, so you can find that.
Before you two sign off, would you walk over to the 790 that you were able to get one more of?
Oh, the beautiful
I forgot
little
to tell
baby.
everybody about that. We just got one more in, and I was convinced that this wasn't going to happen.
Well, I was completely surprised.
All of us were surprised. Look at this beautiful machine. This is the Bernina 790 Crystal Edition.
And it's so pretty.
And
I don't know
it's
if you
so
noticed,
pretty.
Margaret, I changed the screen color.
I
to
did.
the green
I did
because
notice
it
that.
matches the machine
Yeah,
so much
there you
better.
go. There you go. So the cool thing is you can change the screen to whatever color you want. I don't know. Maybe we should turn it to Bernina red.
Nothing wrong with red. We do
So,
love red.
We do love our red. So right now, we just got this in yesterday. So hopefully somebody out there has been dreaming about a 790 Crystal Edition.
And what's it come with?
It comes with your bags. It comes with a whole box full of
my
crystals.
goodness, yes.
It comes with a whole box of crystals. It comes with a whole box stabilizer. I believe it also comes with a 50% coupon off for the embroidery software.
And most importantly, it comes with Margaret.
And the new high-speed embroidery
Oh,
unit.
that's
Yes,
right. It
yes.
does come with the new high-speed
Yes.
embroidery. And see, Dave needs to remind me. So I'm getting excited about all this different stuff that we have and how we can help people and make it where they can sew clothes or they can sew their quilts, and we can just all have fun here. So it's a pretty amazing place, and we wish that you would be able to come and visit us. We're doing a shop hop in June.
Yay! Our
So,
first ever shop
First
hop.
ever shop hop. In May, we are having Betsy Carlson come to do a 3 different classes for Q people. And if you already own one, we're going to do a special edition for long arm owners. And so there's no reason, I don't care if you live, wherever you live, you can come to these events.
Absolutely.
We
The more
would
the
love
merrier.
to have you.
Please
We
come.
would love to have you. And the other thing is that, you know, within 100 miles, we can take and set up your queue wherever you are.
My favorite
So,
delivery team ever.
Yes. So everybody have a wonderful Saturday, and we will see you next Friday for Facebook Live.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.